The last time on Pete and his bus. Now that the initial sanding process on our bus is complete, I've got to make good all the dents, scrapes and holes in the body. Now this is a painfully slow process, but I've just got to remind myself that every bit of work and effort I put in now will pay off once that red paint goes on. But before I go to work today, I've got to do one more thing, and that is drive this absolutely beautiful piece of automotive history. For those of you that follow me on Facebook, which you should all be doing, will have noticed that I've given you the opportunity to ask me some questions. Now, I'd like to thank you because I have had a lot of questions, but there are a few that keep reappearing. So in this episode of Pete and his Bus, I have given you the answers of the most frequently asked questions. Now, to the bus, I say. As some of you might have noticed, the door to the cab on our bus is properly buggered. So here is what I'm going to do about it. It's a bit dark in here, but we've got a few nuts to contend with to get this door out of its slide. I want to take it out because I want to give it a proper seeing to. Nice and simple. Out she comes. Kind of heavy. Question number 1. Does the bus still have its bell cord in it? Yes, my bus still has its original bell cord, and yes, it works. I keep as many of the original features in the bus because I think they're absolutely brilliant. Do I sometimes ring it by myself just for fun? Yes, I do. I knew that underneath all the flaking paint and dirt, there was a beautifully crafted aluminium and stainless steel window. So it was just a case of cleaning it up properly. The rest of the door, though, needed a bit more loving. Always use etch primer on aluminium, and once you've sprayed it, it instantly shows up any faults. Question number 2. Cliff Richard and double decker buses. Ah yes, Cliff Richard. I'd like to dispel a myth here, because Cliff Richard didn't actually drive a Routemaster bus, he drove a Region 3 bus. So for all of you making comments about this, I'm going to tell you once and for all, I am not going on a flippin' summer holiday. Thank you! So you'll have to excuse my vagabond look today, but it's about 5 degrees in the barn, hence I'm wearing all this gear. So once you've finished with your filler, I recommend using some panel wipe to clean the surface, get all the grease and all the dirt and all the fingerprints off, so that the paint will adhere properly. And also, if you're feeling really down and sad, you can just sniff it. Woo-hoo! Question number 3. When do you think you'll be done? Ooh, this is a tricky question. I'll be honest, the actual filming of this project has slowed it down somewhat. Also, I have to work in sequence so that it makes sense on the video. So at the moment, I actually can't tell you when I'll be done. Question number 4. Is your last name actually and his bus? No, my surname is not and his bus, and I'm not going to call my first boy Gus and his bus. Thank you. Welcome to a very cold barn. Today I'm going to walk around and I'm going to mark all the areas that will need filling. I do want my bus to retain some of its originality and patina, so I'm not going to be too fussy about taking dents out and removing them to make it completely smooth. If I'd have been that fussy, I would have simply repaneled the entire bus. Obviously the top deck will be inspected as well. There are certain corners that have had a big old whack and they do need a lot of attention. Question number 5. Would you do a camper conversion? A lot of you seem to be very interested in the idea of turning a London Double Decker bus into a camper van. There are several reasons why I would never do this, and these are why. The first one is it does about 9 to 10 miles to the gallon, so you're not going to get very far without spending an absolute fortune on diesel. The second reason is it's geared to do 42.5 miles an hour. So you're going to spend a load of money on diesel, but you're also not going to go very far very quickly. And the third, which is probably the most important reason why I would never do it, that driving a 15-foot tall bus down normal roads is not fun. It is really stressful. You've got low bridges to contend with, you've got trees to contend with, you've got traffic signs to contend with. So no, leisurely camping in a London Double Decker bus, no way. So I guess I better start sanding again. Luckily though, this time I have brought my headphones. Because at the moment I'm listening to a track called I'm Feeling Horny by PAHB, which is very good. Let's see how tough this bonnet really is. Question number 6. What will you work on next? I have no idea what I'm going to do next, but I do know that I would love to tackle an old fire engine, like a 50s one with the big wheel on the back and the ladders. But no, apart from that, I really have no idea yet. Hopefully, this is the third and final round of filling and sanding. The bonnet and the top corner on the front of the bus have been a true challenge, but I actually think I've got them right. With a bit of colour, no one will ever know what they used to look like. And for those eagle-eye viewers out there, you'll have noticed I actually cleaned the front windows. The amount of skank that came off them is unbelievable. That's what you get for sitting outside for 10 years. There was a few other small pieces that needed tidying up to get the bus ready for the almighty paint job. Guess what, guys? The prep is finished. Sorry it took so long. Question number 7. How many miles has your bus done?
This is another one I get asked quite regularly. A scientific study was done, and at that point it proved that not a single bus has done less than 2 million miles. So anything from 2 million upwards, basically. As per usual, thank you very much for watching. There is actually one more question I get asked a lot, which is, what are your intentions with this bus? Well, if you ask that question, that means you haven't been watching my videos, which means you haven't been following me. And I'm not exactly hard to follow, because you can watch me on LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and even flipping TikTok. So subscribe to this channel, check us out on Facebook, and then you can see exactly what my plans are for this bus. Now, until next time,